Yeah, okay. Good afternoon, students. In the last class, we discussed about the switch statement, which is similar to that of if condition. Okay. So what I said over there. So if you are a good programmer, more than two if conditions are not allowed side by side. So one, if there is any if conditions available within the same method or a same place, you are going. If you need more than two if conditions, you are going to use switch state. Okay, so let me record my session. Yeah, I'm already recording it. Yeah, it's okay. So this switch statement is very good for us at the time of checking conditions and all. And moreover, actually, sometimes if is good, but sometimes if is not good. So in that condition, we are going to use a switch case. So you can go for if it's like if we're going to check like 12 months in a year. So if you want to go for checking like if that month is available or not, you need to go for 12 if condition. So in that case, switch is good. Don't go for if condition. So this is the way the programmer will do. So one thing I would like to share with you before starting the class. So most of you people are trying to buy that classes and all. I think. Yeah. So yesterday, one of your students just approached me to whether to pay or not. So I would like to tell you one thing. Ask for a demo class. I'm asking again. Asks for a demo class. Even when I want to share one thing. Let me. Yeah. So here we are having the control statements inside a Java. We call it as also a selection statements. So what are the selection statements we are having? If else, and a switch. So a single. Actually, we are also having a nested if. So nested if is somewhat different. So in some conditions, let me check that in a month. Okay, think like in a month. Take it as a June. Inside of June, I want to check whether the particular date event is available or not, like a Google Calendar. So Google Calendar, what it will do? Is there any event available in the particular month? So in that case, we are going to use a nested if. Nested in the sense, inside a if statement, we are having one more if statement, which we call it as a nested. Okay, I'm going to tell. For sure, I'm going to do a mini project for you. I'm going to because by the end of this, if you are not able to do any mini project, I think you are having one credit for that, right? I don't know about your syllabus. I mean, credits and all. You are having one credit for that. Yeah, who is 1 second? So here, each and every time we are having statements like if else and a switch statement. Inside that, we are having a switch, which is the overcome of more than two if statements. Okay, we are going for the next one. Actually, in the last class, I have explained about a switch, right? Yeah, I explained that. It's having a default like, yeah. So looping, don't you think like all these are basics, but compared with the for loop inside, yeah, C language, this is somewhat different compared with C language. This for loop is different when compared with the C language. We are going to learn about the looping concepts to retrieve the data from iterations. We'll call it as an iterations. So iterations in the sense, one after another, one after another. It will continue till what we mentioned. So according to our usage, we are going to increment that based on the condition. So inside if condition, we are writing a condition over there. So based on the condition over here also inside iterations, we are going to stop the looping concept. Okay. So here it consisting of mainly four things. One is a for loop, and for each loop, and while loop, and a do while loop. What is the difference in between these two things? I'm going to give you a clear idea about these two things. For loop is a common thing like a C language, but you cannot mention the for loop in a different ways. Yeah, with an example, you will understand that doesn't matter. This for each loop is the enhancement of a for loop. Again, I'm telling, we can call it as a for loop or enhancement of a for loop. So it is very useful for retrieving the data from the string. It is like for a particular element inside an array. You know about a single dimensional or double dimensional arrays. So single or a multi-dimensional dimensional array, that doesn't matter whether it is belongs to some other dimensions or what. The array consisting of elements. Suppose consider the array consisting of elements, like 5 elements are available. Yeah, it's okay. I will, for example, that it is good for you to understand. Is like with the words and all. About vaccination and all. People are suffering for vaccinations. It's okay. Yeah. What is this? So this is for a second year students, and that's why there is an error over there. I need to check it out. Yeah, this is your program, right? Yeah, yesterday I just explained this one. So here the switch statement consisting of whether any statement or not inside that doesn't matter. But inside a case statement, when the break appeared, just it will break and go for out. So it will go out. Okay. It is like that. The break statement is a good break and continue statements in Java works a lot. It gives a lot of information. At that time, I'm going to explain all those things. So no need to worry. Break is a good one for looping concept. Okay. Just we'll go for the looping concept where it is EC operators, a new one. I'm taking as 80 iterations. Yeah. This is the name of the class. We are going to discuss about, this is a single line comment, like looping. Yeah, we are going to discuss about the looping. And now what it consisting of, public static. The main method is essential to retrieve the data from a compiler. The compiler only recognizes the main method by using this. So without a main method, Java is not possible to give the output. That's it. Simple thing. So here we are going to learn about the looping concept. One is general for loop. So what is the use of a general for loop? So there are 10 elements inside an array. We are going to print that. So basis on that, we are having a for loop. How we are going to use that? The basic thing, arrays are not, I'm just telling arrays about a single dimensional array and how you are going to initialize that. But you are having a separate topic in the next unit. So we are going to use that, okay, later. Doesn't matter. So just this is about the declaration of, of an array. So how you are going to do in this? It is like an integer, just there is a open brackets like a. This is the declaration of an array, single dimensional array inside a Java. So here I would like to initialize the values. How you are going to initialize the values in Java? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is how we are going to. Okay, yeah. This is how we are going to initialize the array of elements, which we call it as array of integers. And again I am saying array of integers consisting of 5 elements. If you want to find the length of it, just like use the same thing in a C language, length. So you can directly find out the length. Directly you can find out the length of an array, like see this one. Almost all Java is similar to C language, but some conditions are there. Yeah, I need to remove this because this is errors available inside the previous class errors. These are okay. Let me run this program. Where is this? Okay, Yeah, see, the 5. The length of an array is 5. You can see this, right? So you can find out by using a keyword length. So this is a method available inside, I mean, what we call arrays. So this is available inside an arrays. So inside an arrays, we are having a length. How to find out the length? By using length. That doesn't matter. We are going to learn about. So because we are going for the iterations and all, that's why we need to use an initialization. So what is the syntax for that? For this is a keyword available for the iteration, same as like C language. Inside a parenthesis or inside a brackets, we are going to take I is equals to 0. This is the initialization, and it is asking for the data type. What is the type? Can you mention that? Cannot find the symbol in the sense there is no data type you mentioned. There are two ways for this representation, like int I, or we can do like this, or directly this is the main usage of a Java, like you can directly mention int over here, which is a good for us, and there is a space. And now I'm going to iterate throughout the length of this array. So this is the condition, this is the initialization, and this is the condition. So inside a condition, I'm going to take a dot length, and now there is a semicolon, and there is an increment or a decrement. This is a general for loop in Java. So this is a general for loop in Java. Again, I'm telling you. So if you want to iterate any data and you want to print each and every element inside that data, then you are going to use a general for loop. And one more thing I'm going to tell you, if you want to access a particular element inside an array, I'm just mentioning, like underline that, particular. You are going to access a particular element inside this, you are going to use the general for loop. If you want to access each and every item inside an array, you are going to use enhanced for loop. This is the main difference. Again, I'm telling you, if you want to access a particular element inside an array, you are going to use a general for loop. If you want to access everything inside an array, you are going to use enhanced for loop, which gives a very fast execution time compared with this. Don't you think like it takes 2 or 4 minutes? Like if it takes like 0.2 seconds, it takes 0.1 second. I mean, the enhanced for loop, like that. Seconds, milliseconds, the fraction of seconds that was. So the compile is very fast. Okay, I'm not going for that. So this is what the usage of general for loop and enhanced for loop, we'll call it as also for each. Okay. So inside this, how you are going to retrieve the data? The common thing. So this is the syntax for a for loop. What is the syntax for this? There is a keyword for like a C language. Inside this, we are having an initialization, and there is a condition, and there is an increment or a decrement. Okay. If you want to write a syntax, write in this way. Okay. This is a initialization, condition, and this is increment or a decrement. Okay. This is what about the for loop inside a Java. And here, not in the sense of a C language, but here it gives some more benefits to us. See this one. I'm going to do this. You can do it over here, and you can take it as inside this, which is very good thing in Java. So let me end with the semicolon. Yeah, but there should be a semicolon over here. So what it is expecting? It is expecting an initialization. Already I am declared over here. That's why it is not asking for the initialization. So again, it is expecting an increment. It is already available. So this is the use in some conditions. If you are going to work on, in some conditions, it is very useful. In some conditions, there is no use of it. So you can do like this or like this, or else you can directly mention inside a for loop. This is the use of a for loop. Okay, very good thing. So many topics like, yeah, I want to show you this one, how you are going to use that. One second. Okay. So how you are going to print the values? So how you are going to, this is a declaration of a for loop, and inside a for loop, we are going to print the value system.out.println. So inside a for loop, if you want to print what is the name of an array, A, and the iteration, like think like it is inside an array. So how we are arranging, how the Java arranges an elements. So this is a zeroth element, this is a first element, this is a second, and this is a 4. Sorry, this is a 3 and this is a 4. So 0 to 4 we are having, overall the length is a 5. Again I am telling you, 0 to 4 overall the length is a 5. So here this is the 0th element. How you are going to print that? A of 0. Just I am telling you, A of a 0 gives only this value. If you want to print everything inside this, just mention A of an I. So what it gives, it goes for the 0 and 1 will be printed, and again the iteration will continue, and it will check the length of an array. When the length of an array reaches 5, the for loop will be terminated and each and every value will be printed. Okay. Let me run this program. What is this 5? Okay, length, right? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is the length. According to the length, the iteration will continue based on the condition. Based on the condition, the iteration will continue. This is what about general for loop. Sorry. Okay, now we are going to discuss about enhanced for loop. Okay, what is enhanced for loop? It is asking, see this one. For loop is replaceable with an enhanced for loop. Yeah, we know that. That's why we are doing. What we want to do over here? If you are very lazy, then Alt enter, replace with the for loop. See this one, how it got changed. That is the use of a tool, which is very easy thing. This I don't want this. I want to explain in a general manner. So what is the enhanced for loop? Again, it starts with for loop and then press enter. Okay, inside a braces, you need to mention the value of what the elements consisting of inside an array. Let me minimize this. And here I'm going to take the data type because this is an integer. So the values all are integer values. If it is like a float, then I'm going to take a float over here. So inside this, I'm going to take I. So this is an I, which allows only a single element, not everything. Again, I'm telling you, please remember this is somewhat different. So this is an I that holds only one value at a time. This is not an array. This is not an array. This holds one element at a time, and there is a colon, and colon is available, and I'm going to assign all the arrays over here like this. I think you got right. Again, I'm telling you. So this is the syntax for a enhanced for loop. So there is a type of the variable and the variable name, and there is a colon, not a semicolon, it's a colon, and assign the loop what you want to print. And one more thing, when you assign this array, see this one, it is showing like all the arrays over here. When you assign this array, only particular, only one element is assigned at a time, not everything. Only one element is assigned at a time for the enhanced for loop. First one will be assigned, next two will be assigned, and 3, 4, and 5. So which will iterate, right? So in this way, the for each loop will be for each loop gives a good fast compared with the general for loop. That's it. Now we are going to print what we need to print over here, because here we are having an index over here. Based on the index, we are going to print the array values. But here, already I'm having I over here, and I'm assigning each and every element to this. Just type, which is a very easy. But sometimes if you want to access single element, it is not possible. You have to use this one only. No, sir, I want to print everything inside this. Then go for this. Don't go for this. Okay. This is what we do. Just run this program. See this. Same thing has been printed. Okay. Okay, want to generalize. Okay, there is no need to generalize this. It is good. I think you got the point what I'm saying. Again, I'm going for a slide. Okay, while loop. Even till date, I didn't use any while loop. Actually, yeah, we need to discuss about this. Maximum our work will done with the for loop or for each loop. While and do while. Okay, I will discuss that. That doesn't matter because you will get in your examinations and all. Okay. Yeah, can you wait a second? Okay, now we are going to discuss about the while loop. What is the use of a while loop, which is a similar to that of a for loop. But when you are working on a projects and all, maximum we avoid this. We won't use these two things. But examination point of view, if they ask you to write about the looping concept or the while loop or a for loop, just you need to write these two things also. Only for the examination point of view is we are going to read this one. Okay, for loop and for each loop are very important. So each and every time you are going to use this one. Okay, just learn all these things. I'm going to give an example on that. Say this one, I'm just printing it over here. Yes, I want to share about. So this is the syntax for the while loop. So what is the while loop consisting of, which is a similar to that of, like what is this? If condition. Think like this is an if condition. It is similar to that of if condition, not on the basis of a condition. This is okay, but this is for the iteration concept. Think like this is an if condition. If there will be an if, and there is a condition over here, which is similar to that of that. That's why I'm saying the syntax is similar to that of if condition. So this code is like, so when you are going to take a condition, just take like I dot length. So here I'm going to take the, okay, I'm declaring over here. It is not possible, right? Sorry. So int I is equal to 0, we need to initialize that or else it throws error. Okay, this is the condition what we are going to do. So okay, that's okay. So inside that, the same thing what we learned inside of our loop, when I'm just cut this and I'm going to increment this cut. So semicolon will be there. This is a while loop. Again, I'm telling you, this is a while loop without these semicolons. Okay. So what is the difference in between these two things? There is an initialization. Okay, what is this error? Okay, I just initialized over here. That is the problem. So I will undo this. Yeah. So what I mentioned before, that was same as a while loop. And inside this, you are going to take I++, which you are expecting. The same thing. While is somewhat the common thing. It is like similar to that of for loop. That's why the people won't use a for loop. I mean, the while loop. They won't use a while loop. Instead of this, they will use a for loop, which gives a somewhat more enhanced manner. So, which is a very useful manner. So, while loop is avoided in the programming language, the people are not using this. Only some conditions, very rare conditions, the people are using this. What is the syntax for that? It starts with a keyword while, the similar to that of C language. There is a braces inside that we are having conditions, and according to these conditions we need an initialization as well as the increment or a decrement. This is how we are going to write a while loop. Do while is somewhat different. First do this, again go for the iteration. Again I'm telling you, do is somewhat different compared with the while loop. Do, excuse me. Okay, this is what about the while loop, and this is for the do while. So here we are having do while loop. Initially it will go for the do. So after that we are having the condition of like what it is going to do. So first we are going to do this. Again we'll go for the condition. Again I am telling you, please do this with this condition. With this condition, what is the condition? Think like I less than 10. So this is the condition what we are having. So one second. We should not give any bells. Okay. So based on the condition, it will do. But one thing you have to identify between a while and a do while. The main difference inside a while and a do while is here when you are going to do it according to your NRA, it will be printed. But here the first do statement will be executed. After that, based on the condition, you are going to retrieve each and every data from the looping concept or from anywhere else. Again, I'm telling you, inside this, according to the condition, it is going to work. It doesn't matter. But inside a do while, first the statement inside a do statement will be executed. After that, based on the condition, looping will continue. Okay, just remember this. I'm going to print at least 1 to 10 numbers based on that, which is good for you. So I will take, yes, I'm copying the value, yeah, which is good for us. Yeah, it's already declared, where is already defined in the scope. You'll take it as a change I to A because it is already declared over here. That's why it is showing an error. That doesn't matter. What happened? A also declared. Where did I declare? I'll take it as A or R. Yeah, then it is. If we are having the same variable names, this is the issue will happen. So better use the name of a particular thing. So this one we are going to do while. What it is going on? So inside a do, we are having a statement that we are going to print the value of m. So one will be printed, and here m plus plus, and one will be incremented to 2. So inside this 2 is less than or equal to 10. Inside this 2 is less than or equal to 10. So that's why it goes continuing looping concept. Let me run this program. I don't want to print all this stuff because you need a good example. Okay, I'm going to run the program. See, check it out. So what is going on over here? 1 to 10 has been printed. So here, initially we just printed 1. It won't go for the condition. The difference between while and do while. Please remember this. There is a difference in between while and a do while. So because, yeah, what is the dot for you, F8? Just chart in a chat box, man. Just I make it as a F8. Okay, only 5 minutes left. That doesn't matter. Just tell me your dots if you have any dots and all. So you need to learn about like, just I want to tell you one thing. You have to learn about, this is the interview question. I just asked, but I don't know whether some people will ask or not. I just asked some students and all. Like integer, I just declared or initialized an integer, and there is a long over here. I'm having L is equal to 20. So, and I'm having a float that F is equals to 50. This is the question I asked to the student inside an interview in 2015, I think. Yeah, this is the double. Sorry, this is a double, small double. 4.5. 0, I need to mention a 0 or a 2. Just remember this, I'm saying it to you again because this is very important. So here, look at these things. How integer is okay. How you are going to find out whether the compiler came to know that whether this is a long data type or not. Again, I'm telling you because confirm you will get this question. So here there will be an L, a small l or a capital L. So if you didn't mention anything, this will be considered as an integer by the compiler. Again, I'm telling you, if you didn't mention anything after the numeric word, I mean that after the numeric value, it will be considered as an integer, L or I. So, and in the sense of a float, you need to mention like a small f or a capital F. So then only the compiler came to know that this is a float value. So which is a very good interview question. Pakka you will get that, sure. Every time the people are asking, even I'm telling you about that. Okay. And whether you mention this as a D or a capital, that doesn't matter. So by default, every value which is a decimal will be considered as a double only. These are the interview questions. Without interview questions, you can't survive. Okay. Learn about the interview questions. What is the use of, what is the difference between do while and a while? So the statement will be executed first. Inside a while, the looping will iterate continuously based on the condition. But this is somewhat different. First of all, it goes for the do and then it goes for the condition. Got my point? One will be printed and then from 2 onwards, it will be printed. This is what about the do while. Okay. Okay, 3 minutes left. Do you have any doubt? See, or make sure that if